Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching Today I Found Out. In the video today, we're answering a viewer question. Trist G asks, who first noticed Kevin Bacon could be connected to any actor in just 6 degrees or less? Just before we get started with today's video, I do want to say that this one is brought to you by Blue Apron. The first 100 people to sign up will get $40 off their first 2 weeks of Blue Apron. You can find a link to that in the description below. So why not make 2018 the year that you decide to eat healthier and cook more at home? Well, I mean, the answer is probably because it's actually really tricky to create healthy food that actually tastes good. But do not worry, because Blue Apron will save you. I mean, look at the stuff we cooked up here. And just a reminder, this is not Blue Apron's footage. This is what we cooked at home ourselves. It's great. That right there is steak. So not the healthiest example, of course, but look at those healthy vegetables on the side. Really delicious stuff. Now, Blue Apron delivers all the farm fresh ingredients to your doorstep in just the right amounts. You can cook it up following the easy to follow instructions provided on beautiful recipe cards. Plus, new items are being added all the time, so you'll never be bored. You'll never repeat things. I mean, unless you want to, you'll probably do want to go back to things like that steak. So Blue Apron, the first 100 people to sign up will get $40 off their first 2 weeks of Blue Apron. Find a link in the description below. And just to remind you that there is no commitment. You can cancel any time you want. So thank you to Blue Apron for sponsoring this video, and let's get on with it, shall we? So the basic premise of any person being within 6 degrees of a relationship to each other traces back all the way to at least 1929. It was mentioned in the short story Chain Links from the book Everywhere is Different by Hungarian author Frigyes Karinthy. So in the short story, Karinthy was putting forward the idea that with advances in technology, despite vast differences between people and the growing world population, the world was actually shrinking from an interconnectedness standpoint, a trend that would no doubt only continue over time. As such, a game was proposed in the story, which is as follows. We should select any person from the 1.5 billion inhabitants of the Earth, anyone, anywhere at all. He bet us that using no more than 5 individuals, one of whom is a personal acquaintance, he could contact the selected individual using nothing except the network of personal acquaintances. Although a few toyed with the general idea, though not necessarily 6 degrees specifically, over the following decades when studying network theory, most notably Stanley Milgram in his famous small world experiment, the specific idea of a supposed maximum of 6 degrees of separation between everyone on Earth didn't really enter into popular culture until John Guare incorporated it into his play. This play was The 6 Degrees of Separation that came out in 1990. This was made into a 1993 film starring Will Smith, Stockard Channing, and Donald Sutherland. Ironically, Donald Sutherland was actually the actor who held the crown as the most interconnected actor, as we are going to get into in a moment. Well, this all brings us around to Kevin Bacon and a trio of college students with nothing better to do owing to a snowstorm in 1994. The students in question, Craig Fass, Mike Ginelli, and Brian Turtle of Albright College in Reading, Philadelphia, were watching Footloose on TV. After it ended, the 1994 The Air Out There either came on or was being advertised. The three naturally noticed Bacon in both and began to discuss the amazing number of movies Kevin Bacon had starred in and with whom he had worked. Inspired, they came up with a game in which someone would mention a random actor or actress's name, and they would try to figure out how to connect that person to Bacon in 6 degrees or fewer. For example, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is connected to Kevin Bacon by 2 degrees, as Bacon worked with Wayne Knight on JFK, and Knight also played Newman on Seinfeld, in which Julia Louis-Dreyfus also played. She can also be connected in 2 degrees via the fact that she and Diane Weist appeared together on Hannah and Her Sisters. Then Diane West, of course, appeared with Kevin Bacon in Footloose. So how did this go from college party game to one known the world over? This is thanks in part to Jon Stewart and his aptly named talk show, The Jon Stewart Show, which ran from 1993 to 1995. The students wrote Stewart about their game, and thinking it would make good fodder for his show, they were invited to appear on The Jon Stewart Show to talk about it. They also ultimately appeared on The Howard Stern Show with Kevin Bacon himself, and the game from there spread far and wide. As for Bacon himself, at first he didn't really care for the game, but he later came around. In fact, by the time Fast Turtle and Ginelli released the book 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon in 1996, which was a companion to the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon board game, Bacon had such a change of heart that he even wrote the book's introduction. Interestingly, while back in the day we had to rely on our memories to play the game and find a celebrity's Bacon number, today Google will do the work for you. Simply run a search with Bacon number and the person's name, and Google will tell you the degrees of separation. Just as hopefully the Oracle of Bacon provides the same service. And speaking of the Oracle of Bacon, it turns out they found you can't actually connect every actor in Hollywood to Bacon in under 6 moves. Though after analyzing over 800,000 actors and actresses in the history of film, they did find Bacon was more linkable than approximately 99% of other actors in history. So who is the most linkable actor in Hollywood? Well, this has varied over time, and it has previously included Donald Sutherland, Dennis Hopper and Rod Steiger, and right now it's Eric Roberts. Interestingly enough, right now Bacon is all the way down at number 455. Rounding out the top 5 at present are number 2, Michael Madsen, number 3, Samuel L. Jackson, number 4, Danny Trejo, and number 5, William Dafoe. And now for some bonus facts. One of the earliest popular social media sites, more or less resembling modern social site networking with profiles, friend lists, status updates through the social media site, etc., was 6degrees.com. This was created all the way back in 1997. Founder Andrew Weinreich noted they attempted to make sharing pictures a centerpiece of the service, but too few people used digital cameras at the time, so as he put it, we had board meetings where we would discuss how to get people to send in their pictures and scan them. Only a few years later, widely adopted technology would catch up to this idea. At its peak, 6 Degrees had nearly 4 million members, ultimately selling for $125 million to Youth Stream Media Networks in 1999. The site would be shut down just 2 years later. Not long after that, sites like Friendster, MySpace, LinkedIn, Zing, and Facebook would pop up using more or less the same base model. Now for another bonus fact. While Hollywood has the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, the world of mathematics has the Erdos number, coined after famed mathematician Paul Erdos, whose prolific work saw him publish countless papers. As such, a given mathematician's Erdos number is the distance said individual is to Paul based on published papers and the authors listed, rather than movies and actors, as in the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below, and do not forget to subscribe. We've got brand new videos just like this every day of the week. Also, I'd also like to thank our patrons on Patreon. If you're interested in helping us out in making these daily videos, please do consider heading over to patreon.com/TodayIFoundOut. We've also got loads of great perks lined up for people who support us, so go check that out. There's a link in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching.